So I had this kind of moment of epiphany about doing this film. And I called Mike Costello, my director of photography, and said,
"Can we do it? Am I mad? Is it possible?" "Yes, you are mad. But yeah, I think this is possible."
So I kind of put the phone down and thought, oh, I was expecting him to talk me out of it, basically. So then I called Mercedes, and then
Phil rings and says, "Now, you're going to think I'm completely mad and tell me I'm stupid, tell me to go away, tell me to never ring you at this time of night again, but I've got an idea.
How about doing this feature film about a guy himself and self online? It's a comedy drama, and we're going to shoot it in 2 days."
At this point, I just looked at Ben and went, he wants us to shoot a film in 2 days.
If we're going to do this, I needed a tight team. You know, I had, you know, we've got the family of heads of departments and crew and people that I love to work with. But in terms of producing, I could not do this by myself. I could not produce this film by myself.
Firstly, the script obviously had to be written so you could shoot it in 2 days. Inside the house one day, outside the house the next day. And that brings with it, it's a solution, but it brings with it problems.
So we just tried to come up with rules about what it is that slows things down. It takes ages to light something beautifully if you want it to look beautiful. You know, you can't make something look beautiful like that. You know, it doesn't happen. So that was kind of rule number one, really. It was to say, this film isn't about look.
We don't have time to labour a performance. We don't have time to say, look, we've got to go again, we've got to go again. The close-up didn't quite work. You're not even going to know that. You're rattling through this so fast. Best we can do, if we capture the performance of your actors, then we can do this. All over to you, Phil. No pressure, but get good actors.
Initially been told that because of the budget we were on and the timescales we were working to, there was no way we'd get anybody well known at all. We should be looking at unheard of actors with little or no experience, perhaps straight out of drama school.
Then casting became really a massive stress. We've had certain people let us down, certain agents, but I mean, thing is, most people have been great, and the people we got so far are fantastic and they're brilliant. We just still need to cast our lead, but this close. The actor that I really wanted and who we were trying everything to get, you know, on schedule, make schedule work, and basically it's up till 5 AM redoing the whole shooting schedule to make it work around for this particular guy who I thought would be brilliant, who was totally wanting to do it, and you keep Michael Baying me with all this tracking around. Can't do it. This was the weekend before the shoot, you know, and it was staring me in the face all along, to be honest. It really, really was. And I didn't see it because I was lost in trying to find a famous person, you know, a known actor to play this role. And Chris Dane popped into my head. I didn't realise that the perfect guy for this role was someone I'd already worked with. And I worked with Chris on The Bullfighter 2. But how do you call an actor on a Sunday night, get them to get on a train the next day, and then they're shooting on Friday and leading a feature film, and quite a wordy part as well?
Chris Dane, who plays the main part, he wasn't confirmed on the job until about a week before we started shooting as well, and he stepped in and then won Best Actor at the London Independent Film Festival.
He did it, and he turned up, he'd read it, he already knew it, you know, he started learning it, and the first time he walked into rehearsals, it was just like, oh my God, I can't imagine anyone else doing it now.
It's just, I mean, I've been on my feet apart from lunch, probably from sort of 7 o'clock or something, I think. And we've been working constantly, so just going from one scene into the next. You kind of keep in the energy of the piece because you're constantly thrown into the next scene.
You know, we started off practically first thing in the morning, and we finished practically, you know, as it went dark. Yeah, I think we were still shooting inside the house and doing little pickups that we knew we could light night for day.
Winnebago's not ready. I've not put my slap on yet.
I'm alright, mate, yeah. Yeah, I'm good. I'm just, there's so many cars, so many people. Just trying to get them all on the drive. Well, get me on the drive anyway.
We arrived about 5:30 on set on Friday morning, thinking everything was in place to go, but not knowing. When you're not paying people full rates, or people are doing things as favours, people will very often have a nasty habit of forgetting or not turning up or that kind of thing. So there's always the worry in the back of your mind that somebody vital is not going to turn up and everything's going to have to stop. But as we drove onto the location street and saw a Winnebago, a dining bus, catering vehicle already serving people food, some of whom weren't actually anything to do with the film shoot, and makeup started happening, and everything that you'd expect to start happening just started working. And I think that was the relief that it actually was happening as we planned it.
I walked onto the set, and as I was walking down the road, every step I was taking, my chest was getting bigger and bigger and bigger as I was filling with pride. And I mean, I've worked on a feature film as an actor. I knew what to expect in terms of scale and the amount of people there. But I'd not worked on a multi-camera shoot on that scale before. So suddenly there were so many more people. And because we had our own cameramen in the film as well, our own sound crew in the film as well, it was just equipment everywhere, and it was just buzzing and exciting.
The second day of filming was the biggest challenge, I think, of the whole project.
Obviously, at the end of the first day, everyone was extremely tired. And a couple of beers, straight to bed, not really a lot of time to think about it. And we roll up on day 2 and kapow.
The second day was all about the exteriors. So for that we needed 100 extras. We needed all the vehicles. We needed the Bentley. We needed all the key props that were the hardest things to actually organise. There's no other script that we've seen that you could actually sensibly do that. From a logistics point of view, that made life so much easier for us because it was very clearly defined, interior, exterior. It was then down to Phil and to Aidan to then work out what that meant in terms of scenes, who shot what, in what order. We didn't need to, at that point, worry too much about that. We just needed to make sure that everybody was geared up for interiors or exteriors.
I think about it now, having done it, and think it's a stupid thing to do. You know, who makes a film in 2 days? I mean, it's a crazy amount of time.
Feature film in 2 days.
Really?
Yeah, we did it.
We did that.
We did that. We all did it, man.
It could shake us immeasurably. And with all things considered, that's well understood. There's a shark here among us that wants to.
There are so many independent films made these days. So many films. There's so many films that don't see the light of day just because that's the industry. That's the world we live in. You know, there's a traditional distribution model. You know, you need your sales agent, your distributor, you need to do it this way, that way, that way, and if you don't have stars, you don't have anything that's marketable or anything like that, you never, you know, it's never going to be seen, you know, by the masses anyway. And I didn't want this to be a film that did that.
Very tired, incredibly relieved got in daylight, but I can't really explain how else I feel. It's very emotional.
We've done it. It's a feat. It's a feat of endurance and a feat of vision. And somebody should call Norris McWhirter at the Guinness Book of Records because I don't think the features have been made in 2 days, man. A feature of this scale has not been made. The size, it's a much bigger scale feature than the budget would suggest. And it's just been a lot of frigging hard work by everybody and dedication, and it's come on. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I can't believe I'm going home now, and that we're going to be screening a month. It's just insane. So that is me, Boardman.
Yes, it is a bit of a gimmick to do it in 2 days, but I would never, ever, ever sacrifice the story and the characters for a gimmick. You know, that's just, you're in trouble already if that's the way you're thinking. Audiences don't see that. They see people and they see story.
Well, it's 8:15 on day 2 of filming, and I don't know about you, but I am knackered. They're still recording some music outside with Liam Frost. They're just doing a sound check out there. As you can see, the house is nowhere near back to being sorted yet, so we've still probably got about 3 or 4 hours work to go. But we made a film! Yay!
Well, there were never two hearts gonna beat any faster. Well, the sun sets quick as our eyes burst meet, and we take the wrong turn down Division Street.